Hey everyone, ready to really get into the world of anthropology.
Let's do it.
Today we're using RoleCatcher's guides as we take a deep dive into what it takes to ace an interview for an anthropologist position
And to be honest,
and what a career in anthropology really looks like.
yeah, getting that insider perspective.
Exactly.
It's really valuable.
We'll break down typical interview questions, think about what might come up next,
Mm-hmm.
and look at how RoleCatcher's AI tools can even help you create answers that stand out.
It's a competitive field out there.
It is. So let's jump right in with how RoleCatcher describes what anthropologists actually do.
Okay,
Now, I'm guessing you're drawn to this field because it's not just about dusty old textbooks.
definitely not. It's so much more than that.
Right.
One day you might be digging into ancient civilizations,
Wow.
and the next you're using those insights to help plan a modern city.
It's so cool how anthropology is becoming so interdisciplinary.
It really is.
You could be working with sociologists,
Mm-hmm.
historians,
Yep.
even data scientists these days.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
The RoleCatcher Guide even mentions something called philosophical anthropology.
Oh, yeah. That's a fascinating area.
Sounds pretty deep.
It is. It delves into the really big questions,
Oh.
like what does it even mean to be human?
Whoa.
What is consciousness?
Deep stuff.
It's where anthropology meets philosophy head on,
Oh.
exploring the very core of what it means to exist.
So we're talking about uncovering the mysteries of humanity,
Absolutely.
past and present.
Both.
Okay, so let's get down to business.
All right.
RoleCatcher gives us 10 common interview questions that aspiring anthropologists often get.
Okay.
And we're going to go through them one by one.
Let's do it.
Ready to nail those answers?
Born ready. Let's figure out what those interviewers are really looking for.
All right, question number 1. Can you tell us about your education and training in anthropology?
Okay. The classic.
Seems pretty straightforward, but
But there's more to it than just listing off your courses.
I beg. What are they looking for?
They want to know you've got a solid base, for sure.
Makes sense.
But they're also searching for that spark.
That passion.
Yes. What courses or projects really grabbed you?
Yeah,
Did you write a thesis that dove deep into some unique cultural issue?
I see.
It's all about showing them how your academic journey shaped your anthropological thinking.
So it's about highlighting those experiences that kind of lit your anthropological fire.
Exactly.
What kind of follow-up questions might they ask to dig a little deeper?
They might ask about specific theories or methodologies you've learned,
Okay.
or even how your research interests match up with the institution's current projects.
So they want to see if you've done your homework
Right.
and how you fit in.
Think about your why.
Oh, I like that.
Why anthropology?
Right.
Why this specific area?
And this is where RoleCatcher's AI can come in handy.
Oh, yeah. How so?
It can actually analyze the job description and suggest specific things for you to highlight in your answer.
That's pretty slick.
Isn't that neat?
Take some of the guesswork out.
For sure. All right, on to question 2. What inspired you to pursue a career in anthropology?
Ah, yes, the classic passion question.
Right. This is where you share those aha moments.
Exactly.
Was it a specific book that blew your mind?
To be?
A travel experience that opened your eyes to a new culture?
Exactly. And don't be afraid to actually tell a story here.
Ooh, I like that.
A captivating anecdote that shows off your intellectual curiosity
Yeah,
and your personal connection to the field.
makes it more memorable.
Right.
I bet they might follow up by asking about your long-term career
It's
goals.
very likely.
How do you see yourself contributing to the field of anthropology?
Yeah, or they might ask how you see anthropology making a real difference in the world.
It's all about connecting your personal passion to their mission and values.
Exact.
And don't forget, RoleCatcher's Career Guide has a whole section on showcasing your capabilities,
All right.
packed with tips on presenting your skills and experience in a way that resonates.
With those potential employers.
Yeah. It even suggests creating an online portfolio or blog to highlight your work.
That's a great idea.
All right, ready for question 3? Can you explain your experience with ethnographic research methods?
Okay, now we're getting into the real nitty-gritty of anthropology.
Right, ethnographic research that's about immersing yourself in a culture,
Exactly.
observing, interviewing, really getting to know a community from the inside out.
Precisely. The interviewer wants to see if you really get this approach.
Do you just know the definition, or have you lived it?
Right. Have you done field work for a research project, volunteered in a diverse setting?
Okay.
Maybe you've traveled to different countries? Share those stories.
So it's not just knowing what participant observation means from a textbook.
Nope.
It's about showing them you can actually do it.
Exactly.
Right.
What challenges did you face during field work?
Ooh, good one.
What did you learn?
They might even ask about ethical considerations.
Oh, that's crucial in anthropological research.
Huge. And this is another spot where RoleCatcher's AI can help. You can practice answering these tough questions and get feedback on how to talk about your approach
Nice.
in a way that aligns with those best practices.
So helpful.
It's like having a personal anthropology coach right in your pocket.
I like it.
Okay, moving on to question 4. How have you applied your knowledge of anthropology in your previous work experiences?
All right.
Now, this one might feel tricky if you haven't had a specifically anthropology-related job before.
Right. That's where transferable skills come in.
Like what?
Think about how you've used anthropological thinking in other contexts.
So even if you were working in retail,
Exactly.
you could talk about how you observed cultural differences among customers
Yes.
and how you adapted your communication style.
Exactly. Or maybe you looked at sales trends, but from a cultural angle.
Interesting.
The key is to connect the dots for them, showing how your anthropological lens has shaped how you approach work.
I see. They might ask about specific outcomes
They might.
or challenges you faced.
Yeah.
How did you use your anthropological skills to solve a problem
Yeah.
or navigate a complex situation?
Good questions.
Be ready to connect those experiences to the specific job you're interviewing for.
Right. Show them how your past has prepped you for this job's challenges.
And don't forget, RoleCatcher's AI can highlight those key transferable skills in your answers.
Oh, right. It's like having a personal branding expert.
Exactly. Okay, question 5. Can you describe your experience working with diverse populations? This feels like a core part of anthropology.
It is. Anthropology is all about understanding and respecting different cultures.
Right. So tell them about times you've interacted with people from diverse backgrounds.
Have you worked on a multicultural team?
Good example.
Volunteer in a diverse community? Traveled to different countries?
Share those stories.
Yes.
And it's not just about listing experiences.
No.
It's about reflecting on what you've learned.
Right. How have these interactions shaped your understanding of cultural sensitivity and communication?
They might ask for specific examples of how you navigated cultural misunderstandings
Oh, that's a good one.
or how you adapted your communication style.
Exactly.
And again, RoleCatcher's AI can give you feedback on how to balance showcasing your experience while demonstrating cultural sensitivity.
That's a delicate balance.
It is.
But RoleCatcher can help you get it right.
Okay, are you ready for question 6? Can you explain your experience with qualitative data analysis?
Okay, back to the research side of things.
Right. Qualitative data analysis, that's about making sense of all those nuanced insights from ethnographic research.
Exactly.
Like coding interviews, analyzing field notes,
Yep.
identifying themes,
Right.
and drawing conclusions from data that isn't numbers.
Exactly. They want to see if you're comfortable with those tools and techniques.
Have you used any specific software or frameworks?
Good question.
They might ask about different coding methods.
Yeah.
Or how you make sure your analysis is rigorous and valid.
It's about showing that you can handle the trickier parts of qualitative research.
And this is where having a solid grasp of anthropological theory comes in.
It really does.
You want to be able to connect your analysis approach to those broader theoretical frameworks.
Absolutely.
And RoleCatcher's Career Guide has a great overview of key anthropological concepts and debates.
It's a great resource to brush up on that theoretical knowledge.
Okay, on to question 7. Can you describe a project you have worked on that required collaboration with other disciplines? This gets at that interdisciplinary trend we talked about.
It does. Anthropology is all about connecting the dots between different fields.
So think about those projects where you had to bring together different perspectives.
Right.
And use various sources of knowledge.
Maybe you were on a research team with folks from different disciplines.
Okay.
Or you worked on a community project that needed a more holistic view.
Share those experiences.
Yes. Highlight the good stuff that comes from working across those boundaries.
You might ask about challenges of interdisciplinary collaboration.
It can definitely be tricky.
How did you handle disagreements?
Yeah.
What were your strategies for communicating with people from different backgrounds?
Those are all things they'll want to know.
And expertise.
It's about showing you can work collaboratively and leverage those different viewpoints to create new solutions.
And don't forget, RoleCatcher's AI can help you tailor your answer to specific jobs.
Oh, that's right.
If the role involves lots of collaboration, you'll want to really highlight those experiences.
Makes sense. Play to your strengths and highlight the skills that they're looking for.
It's all about presenting yourself in the best possible light.
Absolutely.
All right, question 8. How have you incorporated technology into your research and analysis? This might seem like a curveball for anthropology,
Right. People think of it as this traditional field.
but technology is changing everything.
It really is.
What are some examples?
Think about digital ethnography,
Okay.
online data collection,
Mm-hmm.
social media analysis,
Yeah.
even virtual reality simulations.
Wow.
The interviewer wants to see if you're embracing these changes.
And using them to make your research even better.
Right. Have you used specific software or platforms for data collection or analysis?
Oh, good question.
Be ready for follow-ups about your comfort level with different tech
Makes sense.
and how you see technology shaping the future of anthropology.
Because it's evolving so quickly.
It really is. Staying current is key.
And if you need a refresher on some of the tech skills, RoleCatcher's Career Guide actually links to resources
Oh, that's helpful.
for learning about digital anthropology and other tech stuff.
It's like having a curated library of knowledge.
Exactly. Okay, question 9. Can you describe a time when you had to adapt to a new cultural environment?
This goes beyond just working with diverse populations.
This is full immersion.
Exactly. Think about studying abroad,
Correct.
doing field work in a remote community,
Wow.
or even moving to a new country altogether.
They want to see how you handle adapting to a totally new cultural setting.
Right. How did you learn about the new culture? How did you deal with communication barriers or cultural misunderstandings?
They'll probably ask for specific examples of situations where you had to adjust your behavior
Yes.
or how you dealt with culture shock.
That can be a tough one.
It's about showing your adaptability,
Mm-hmm.
your cultural sensitivity.
And your ability to learn from new experiences.
And don't forget, honesty is key.
Absolutely. Don't be afraid to talk about the challenges.
It shows self-awareness
Yes.
and a willingness to grow.
Which is essential.
Speaking of growth, RoleCatcher's Career Guide actually has a section on professional development for anthropologists.
Oh, nice.
It talks about attending conferences,
Mm-hmm.
joining organizations,
Yeah.
and even going for further education.
Always good to keep learning.
Okay, are you ready for the last question?
Hit me with it.
Can you describe your experience with public engagement and outreach in anthropology?
Okay.
This might sound a bit daunting,
It does sound a little intimidating.
but it's really about sharing your passion for anthropology with a wider audience.
So making it accessible.
Exactly, making it relevant to people outside of the academic world.
I like that.
Think about giving presentations to community groups,
Okay.
writing blog posts or articles for a general audience,
Mm-hmm.
or working on museum exhibits.
The interviewer wants to know if you can explain complex ideas clearly and in an engaging way.
Have you been part of any public anthropology projects?
That's what they'll want to hear about.
And they might ask about specific outreach strategies you've used,
Right.
or how you measure the impact of your public engagement.
Good questions.
It's all about showing that you're committed to making anthropology relevant
Mm-hmm.
and impactful for everyone.
For diverse audiences,
And you guessed it,
RoleCatcher's AI can help.
RoleCatcher's AI can help you tailor your answer to highlight your public engagement work.
So helpful.
Wow. We just powered through 10 common interview questions for anthropologists.
We did.
I bet you're feeling a lot more prepared now.
I know I am.
But we're not done yet. There's more to landing your dream job than just acing the interview.
That's true.
We'll be back in part 2 to delve deeper into those career insights we've been talking about.
Sounds good.
And we'll explore how RoleCatcher's AI can give you that extra advantage.
Looking forward to it.
See you soon.
See you then. Back for more. Feeling ready to tackle that interview.
Definitely feeling more prepared. But now I'm curious about the bigger picture.
Okay, what do you mean?
What's it really like to have a career in anthropology?
Oh, yeah. Good question. Let's see what RoleCatcher's Career Guide says.
Right?
It breaks down the good and the bad, the different paths you can take.
Stuff that's not always easy to find just by searching online.
Right.
So let's start with the good stuff. What are the most rewarding parts of this field?
Well, the guide highlights that you get to really immerse yourself in different cultures and societies.
Wow.
It's like having a backstage pass to the whole human experience.
I love that.
One day, you might be studying ancient rituals, and the next, you're analyzing modern social movements.
That's what I find so fascinating about anthropology.
What's that?
It connects the past to the present and helps us understand how humans work across time and space.
Exactly. The guide also talks about the adventure of field work.
Oh yeah, field work. That's where it all comes to life.
Absolutely. It's about getting out of the classroom and into the real world,
Mm-hmm.
experiencing cultures up close and personal, gathering those insights that you can only get from actually being there.
Definitely a dream job for anyone who loves to travel.
For sure.
And it's not just about observing cultures.
Right. What else?
The guide talks about contributing to the preservation of cultural heritage.
Oh, yes, that's a big part of it.
Tell me more.
Anthropologists are so important for documenting languages, traditions, and knowledge systems that might otherwise be lost.
It's about protecting that incredible diversity of human culture.
Absolutely. And there's this amazing potential to make a real impact.
In what way?
The guide talks about how anthropologists can use what they know
Their knowledge and insights.
to help solve real problems.
Like what?
Like making sure healthcare reaches marginalized communities or fighting for indigenous land rights.
That's applied anthropology in action.
It is, taking those ideas and putting them to work in the real world.
Okay, so it's clear there are some incredible opportunities in anthropology.
Definitely.
But what about the challenges? The guide doesn't sugarcoat it.
It doesn't. It's important to be realistic.
What's one of the biggest hurdles?
Well, the job market can be pretty competitive.
Yeah.
Anthropology isn't always the best paying field.
Right.
And getting funding for research can be a real struggle.
The guide mentions that salaries can be lower compared to other fields.
That's true.
Yeah.
Something to think about.
And fieldwork itself can be pretty demanding.
Oh, absolutely. It often means a lot of travel, sometimes to remote or even dangerous places.
The guide also mentions the importance of being ethical in your research.
So,
Like respecting cultural boundaries.
yes.
Making sure you have informed consent. And navigating all those tricky situations that can pop up during fieldwork.
It's all part of the job.
So it sounds like this is a career that needs more than just intellectual curiosity.
It does.
You also need resilience, adaptability, and a strong moral compass.
You got it. But if you're truly passionate about anthropology,
Yeah.
those rewards often make the challenges worth it.
Speaking of rewards, let's talk about career paths. What does advancement look like in this field?
Okay, good question. The guide outlines a few different options.
Like what?
You could work your way up in academia,
Okay.
become a professor, lead research projects at a university.
That's the classic path.
It is, but you could also go outside academia,
Interesting. What would that look like?
working for government agencies, NGOs, museums, or even private companies.
Really? Companies are hiring anthropologists.
More and more these days.
What for?
Well, the guide says that businesses are realizing how valuable it is to understand cultural trends, consumer behavior, and even how to design products and services that are more culturally sensitive.
So anthropology is branching out beyond those traditional academic settings.
It is. It's making a real impact in all sorts of industries.
That's so cool. The guide also talks about how important it is to build your professional network,
It's essential.
going to conferences, joining professional organizations,
Yes.
and connecting with other anthropologists.
All of that can open doors to really exciting opportunities.
And remember what we said about conferences.
What about them?
RoleCatcher's AI can actually help you find the best conferences to attend,
Oh, right.
based on your research interests and career goals.
That's so helpful.
It could even suggest people you might want to collaborate with.
Or mentors you could connect with.
Wow. So it's not just about prepping for interviews.
It's about strategically building your whole career.
Exactly. So how can an aspiring anthropologist stand out from the crowd?
That's a good question. The guide suggests a few things.
Like what?
Publishing your research in academic journals,
Okay.
presenting at those conferences we talked about, and even building a strong online presence,
Like what?
a portfolio website or a blog where you can share your work.
So it's not just about what you know, it's about how you communicate it.
Exactly. And that's another area where RoleCatcher's AI can help.
Wow.
Imagine being able to tailor your CV to different jobs,
Oh, wow.
highlighting the skills and experiences that are most relevant to each employer.
It's like having a personal branding expert right there in your pocket.
Exactly. The guide also mentions volunteering or interning in areas that you're interested in.
So you get that hands-on experience.
They make valuable connections.
Makes sense. That not only helps you build your skills, but it also shows your dedication to the field.
It does.
We've covered a lot here, the pros and cons, career paths, and even how to showcase your skills. Feeling overwhelmed?
It is a lot to take in.
Don't worry, RoleCatcher's AI can help you organize all this information.
Oh, wow.
Figure out your priorities.
Okay.
And create a personalized roadmap for your career.
It's like having a personal mentor for your anthropology journey.
Exactly. But remember, AI is a tool. It can't replace your own drive and passion.
Right. It's about using these resources to boost your strengths,
And build a career that you love.
the career that aligns with your values.
So it's a partnership between human smarts and technological support.
I like how you put that.
We've definitely covered a lot of ground here.
We have from the details of fieldwork to the bigger picture of career paths.
In part 3, we'll wrap up with some final thoughts on the future of anthropology
Okay, sounds good.
and leave you with some inspiration.
Great.
And maybe even a few more questions to think about as you start your own anthropological adventure.
Stay tuned.
And we're back for the final part of our anthropology deep dive.
We've covered a lot of ground.
We have, from interview questions to career paths.
With a little AI help along the way.
Definitely. But before we wrap up,
Yeah.
I'm really curious about the future of anthropology.
Okay.
We've explored the past and the present, but where do you see this field going?
Well, if we're thinking big picture,
Okay.
I think anthropology is going to become even more interdisciplinary.
In what way?
Imagine anthropologists working with data scientists
Okay.
to analyze huge amounts of data.
That's a lot of data.
It is, or partnering with AI experts to model those complex social systems.
So we're talking about using cutting-edge technology to tackle those big anthropological questions.
Exactly. And I think we'll see a greater focus on applied anthropology, too.
What do you mean?
Using those anthropological insights to address those real-world problems.
Like what kind of problems?
Like climate change,
Okay.
global inequality,
Mm-hmm.
and even the ethical side of artificial intelligence.
That's what really excites me about anthropology.
What's that?
It's not just about studying the past.
Right? It's not just theory.
It's a tool for understanding and actually shaping the world we live in.
I agree. And I also think we'll see a renewed interest in public anthropology.
Public anthropology.
Yeah, finding new and creative ways to share anthropological knowledge with a broader audience.
Like what?
Think interactive museum exhibits, virtual reality experiences,
True.
or even documentaries that bring research to life.
It's about making anthropology accessible and exciting for everyone.
Absolutely. And sharing those moments of discovery.
Those aha moments.
Yes, that spark curiosity and understanding.
I think the future of anthropology really rests on passionate people.
It does.
People like you listening right now.
People who are driven to explore, question, and connect with the human experience.
In all its beautiful complexity.
Exactly. So to our listener out there, I want to say you've chosen a truly amazing field.
One that requires curiosity, empathy, and deep respect for human diversity.
And remember, you've got resources like RoleCatcher to help you along the way.
From writing your CV to acing those interview questions.
Those AI tools can give you that extra edge and help you really stand out.
But even with the best tools in the world, it's your own passion,
Yes.
your experience
Yes, your unique perspective.
that will make you shine.
Embrace those challenges.
Never stop learning.
And get ready to make your mark on the world of anthropology.
I love that. So we'll leave you with one final thought-provoking question.
Okay, what is it?
How do you see anthropology shaping the future? We'd love to hear your thoughts.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
We'll see you next time for another fascinating exploration